Hello, I'm Sonny Landon.
Howdy, folks. It is the creepy Kentuckian here.
Hi, I'm Uncle Bill. It's good to see you again.
What's up? Garrett here. Born2BeRad.
From Halloweentown, brother.
Listen, we've got a really special guest, though, in the chat room. It's a deported Chinese nationalist. So that's nice. He just came by to say hello.
Hello, deported Chinese nationalist. How are you?
Yeah, it's good to see
What's
y'all.
up?
So, how's everybody doing tonight?
I'm off the chain.
Doing, man. You know,
It's going.
Halloween season is approaching fast.
Garrett's been working like 19-hour shifts at work, so it's good to. I think you had a day off.
I don't know
today,
how many hours is that. Anyways, I didn't really. 5.
It's closer to 19, I think, than anything else. So.
What?
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
so,
But no, I'm happy to be on here with you guys. It'll be a good little topic, even though I don't know. It's a little different for me this year, I think, and I'll talk about it when I go through my stuff.
Yeah, this is kind of going to be a rapid fire type deal. We originally said, 5 movies apiece with 2 backups, but
I just don't think there's any way to do that.
Yeah,
to keep it to 5.
I kept finding more and more stuff that I wanted to watch, so we're going to try to go through as many movies as possible from now until 10 o'clock. Okay, the cutoff is 10 because, it's a work night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's good to kind of give us, a stop time. Otherwise, it could be another 2.5, 2 hour and 40 minute stream like we had with Wet Movie the other night, which you guys should check out.
Yeah, that was a long one, huh?
Yeah, we'll see if we can actually make it to 10 or not. If we don't go over.
But this idea was requested from Carter Derdention on the Baller and Shot Caller tier over at DEADPIT on Patreon.com. So this was his idea. That he's in the chat. Good deal. Howdy,
What's up, man?
Wow. Manic Exorcism's on here, boys.
That's old school.
That's old school as can be.
Yeah. Looking forward to tonight's show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I enjoy just, not really a dissection of each movie, but kind of like, hey, I haven't seen this movie in a while. It's one that I've been wanting to check out, and I saved it for this time of year. So we got Adam, 80s fan, in here. What's going on? Letke Vision Films.
Howdy.
Scotch Wrestling Collection. Horror Man 36. Lots of people in here already. So thank you all. But the show itself, the wet one is in here.
Woo! Are you ready to get wet this time though?
Get
wet, gonna get wet, bitch. This is the best intro to any live stream we've ever done.
What's even better though is Wet Movie and Garrett's face.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the beginning. If you haven't checked that out, go back and check it
I
out.
was getting more and more uncomfortable as the countdown was going before we went live. I was like,
because it doesn't stop, and in fact, it gets progressively worse.
I'm like, we're stuck, and there's no getting out of it now.
No.
Yeah, that's from the Dead Pit Jukebox over on the Patreon side. So, yeah, that's a classic. That's an all-time classic from, I don't know if it was really Hellord, but it was just me and you kind of fooling around. A lot of people may not realize in between the episodes, we always had a guitar sitting around, so it's a good time waster in between segments, or we're waiting on the call-in portion, and we would come up with bullshit like that. Creative people. That's what we are here at Dead Pit.
Yeah, that's a top 40 hit right there. You'll hear that on all the radio stations.
Since it is Halloween season, though, we're going to go through not necessarily, and it can be as well, like our top 10 go-to horror movies, which we've talked about. But my idea is change it up a little bit. what movies are we going to check out or planning on checking out? You know, things always come up. But we're planning on checking out this horror Halloween season. September, October. That's the idea.
I actually got some good news today that I wasn't expecting. That was my Alone in the Dark Blu-ray shipped out from Scream Factory, which I thought for sure that shit wouldn't be like anywhere near Halloween, but that's... Yeah, but I'm sure that they'll make up for it by having to put like a replacement disc or something by the time I get it.
Yeah.
Like, so.
No. Like, I saw someone ask like a question when they received the email, and they're like, "Oh, when stuff like this happens, do they usually like send you like a 10% off coupon or something like that?"
Yeah.
And guess who the first person was to chime in when I was scrolling through my feed?
Joe.
This guy up here.
Oh, really? What'd you say?
Well, somebody was
I'm like
asking
scrolling through my
about,
feed. I see his comments. The first one that's like on there.
somebody was
I'm like,
asking
oh, no.
if Scream Factory was going to do any sort of gift certificate or anything for being late. And I laughed out loud literally when I saw that. So I had to have, they don't play that shit. Scream Factory doesn't.
No. You don't get any. As a matter of fact, like, they don't give you shit. They want shit back. They don't. That's how they are.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that very soon. Scream Factory year 3.
Well, imagine all of a sudden you get an email like it's gonna go out late, so we need you guys to pay for shipping because we have to do a different shipping date. So you have to pay a second time.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if they were like, "Yeah, we need you to pay for the shipping on this again." Like, we're sorry.
Pop's
We
Movie
shipped it to-
Dungeon is in here. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to him, but his channel, I think it just started. I love his channel. So
He's awesome, man. What's up, buddy?
Check his stuff.
Yeah,
out.
he's got a good collection over there too.
Yeah, he's got a killer movie room and stuff.
Yeah.
So we might as well get this party started, and we'll be looking at the chat all evening and stuff as well. But like I said, movies we're going to be checking out this September and October, baby. So what we got?
Well, first I want to answer Adam 80s fans question. You like this? Hall of Mania. So if you guys don't know, we invented that Hall of Mania. We started it. So basically, it's a big event. We'll probably do, I don't know, maybe every couple months, a big event on stuff that we've kind of hauled up on, and we talk about it together. So if you want this shirt or not any other cool shirts, super comfortable, just go to shop.deadpit.com. Check out all the cool designs. Did I get that correct there, Wes?
Shop.deadpit.com. There you go. More designs are being added. We got some limited edition ideas coming up as well. So all the shirts are over at shop.deadpit.com. Even Captain B Plan has his own shirt now. How awesome is that?
I heard that's been flying off the shelves, though. It really has.
Mm-hmm. I think he did sell one, actually.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's always new ones, bonus ones coming in. Got the new Calvin one. It's so we got a lot of stuff going on over there.
Our buddy Jay Real has a shirt. Yeah, check it out.
Can't wait for that one to drop.
It's dropped. It's in there.
Did it drop already?
Oh yeah,
I gotta go look at it. It's dropped. Oh god.
The J Real shirt is available.
What everybody on here needs to ask themselves, though, in the chat and at home or wherever you're watching this, is what you gonna do when Halloween runs wild on you?
Rumor has it, though, that Halloween 2 is what the world has come to, and it's going to be what, October, sometime.
Mm-hmm. October blood.
So anyway,
yeah, let's get this shit started. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first, and I'll kind of do like a little package deal here to kind of get a bunch of mine out of the way. So again, I like the idea that we talked about, where it was basically, what are we watching this Halloween, rather than the best movies to watch around Halloween, because that to me is just very different. I did an early video on that. If you go way back, I actually watched it today to make sure I was not grabbing the same movies, and I actually was kind of cringing on when you watch your really early videos and realize like how not as comfortable you were in front of a camera. I guess I was like, ugh. Because it's like probably like my second video I think I ever did talking about that. But luckily I didn't really take a lot of those here. But What I am going to start watching around Halloween this year, and I'm going to start very soon, is I'm telling you guys, Malignant got me a little hyped for some James Wan. So it really did. I watched Conjuring the other night. It was on, I think, HBO Max, and I was just like, you know what, let me watch this again, because I haven't seen Conjuring since probably either just in the theater or maybe like right when the Blu-ray came out. I might have checked it out a second time. I thought it was great, and it takes place, or the story takes place in my state, actually, that first initial story from the movie. So thought that was cool. So I have a stack here of Wan. So what are we gonna have? Would you say a Wanathon?
The Wanathon
this October. So I will be going back to Conjuring 2, which I think I've only seen this once in the theater, and I remember liking it, but I mean I haven't seen it again since. So I'm curious about that. And the one I did love, which I saw this twice in the theater, and I never go to the theater more than once usually. So if I do go more than once, I love the movie, and it's in the original Insidious. I absolutely loved this movie when I first saw it. Man, from that just that opening title scene where that goes Wee! And it shows like the Insidious, like I was hooked right there. I was like, okay, this is going to be something we've never seen before. It felt very throwback. And then I'm going to Insidious 2 just because, again, there's 4 Insidious movies, and I'm like, I get real confused on what is what here. So I'm going to go back and watch them. I haven't seen them in a long time. I do have the other 2, but if I don't get to them, I don't get to them. I want to definitely get 1 and 2. And then I just broke out Dead Silence because, again, it's been a hell of a long time since I've checked that one out as well. So I figured to cap it off. I'm hoping to get those done pretty quick between now and Halloween.
We saw those movies. I think we saw all those in the theater during the course of Dead Pit. And I remember the first Insidious just like sitting there, and the scene where there's a scene in it where like there's a little kid that's like flashback to the 40s or something like that. And he's running around this like record player, and the songs playing and everything, and just being genuinely like creeped out by that whole thing. Like that whole movie has just got a weird vibe to it that's really creepy.
It was unsettling. And also, we were talking about James Wan's influence from 80s horror movies. And Dead Silence is, no doubt, Charles Band, he's a big fan of, and maybe even the Child's Play movies. But the thing that I remember freaking me out the most about Dead Silence is the theme song, man. That's a creepy freaking theme song. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Phantasm.
That's true. Yeah. All those Wan movies though were great. Although in the second, you talked about the second Conjuring, the guy in the evil spirit guy in that sounds exactly like what I would imagine the guy that runs Severn Films sounds like. He's like super British and like really, really low voice. He's like, I'm here, my name's Timothy. And some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to rewatch Insidious franchise too. It's been a while, so excited to check it out.
Cool. So I'll go next. I've got kind of it could possibly be like a triple feature, but definitely a double feature. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for the third movie that I had up. But I was talking about maybe taking a look at some of the Romero movies that I hadn't seen in a long time or have never seen. And The Dark Half is one of those movies that I can't remember if I've seen it or not, but I definitely don't remember it. And I think Scream Factory had an edition out, but that one's out of print. And this is one from Eureka over in Australia.
Whoa!
I think it's Australia.
Yeah.
And then also a killer edition of Monkey Shines.
Ooh,
that has that original artwork.
I love Monkey Shines, man.
With a flip, baby. And I've definitely seen this. It's one of the very first DVDs that I ever got back when Columbia House was doing DVDs, right? And for some reason, MGM was one of those companies that had a shit ton of horror movies out early on, and Monkey Shines was one of them. The third movie, I probably won't watch it. I just don't feel like torturing myself that much, and that would be Bruiser. That's the Romero movie that I know that I've never watched all the way through. I could never make it through it. But I got the DVD for pretty much shipping.
So The Dark Half is one of those movies where I've watched it like probably half a dozen times, and I still can't figure out if I like it or not. Like, there's parts about it that I like, and then there's parts about it that I think are just absolutely kind of ridiculous. Monkey Shines is a given, though. Monkey Shines is one of those movies that's, I don't know, it's like a cult classic almost. It doesn't get like a lot of love anymore, but
Yeah.
I agree it doesn't get enough love. A lot of people kind of shit on it too, and I'm surprised because, you know, when I think about 80s horror especially, I love like the obscure randomness of like that kind of stuff. Like, it's what a random movie that you've got a monkey that's like, you know, technically the killer, I guess, in a slasher, right? And just the whole story itself is just interesting. And, you know, I met Romero and I had him sign my Monkey Shines one sheet, and he acted like he was like so shocked that I handed him that. He's like, "Ooh, Monkey Shines!" Like, he hasn't, like, no one ever asks him to sign anything from that movie. But man, and that edition you have is sweet looking. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that artwork I've always loved. I mean, that left a lasting impression on me as a young kid.
Oh yeah,
See it in a video store.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's one in the video store that you never forget. Like, I remember being in the horror aisle, seeing that, and be like, what is this? It was very eye-catching for the time.
Yeah, for sure.
all right, let's see. This one is one that I just like rediscovered, and I'm gonna watch it again because I liked it so much that I'd forgotten all about it. And this version is only like slightly better than the version that's up on Shudder, but it's Tourist Trap.
I love Tourist Trap.
Listen, there's something about this movie, and I can't really explain what it is, but it's got the absolute weirdest atmosphere to it. Like, they captured something in it that was kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, it's kind of that weird, unsettling, foreboding feeling that was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And, I mean, not to say that he's the greatest actor in the world or anything like that, but what's the guy's name? Chuck Connors, like, as the lead in it, is number one, he's freaking huge. Like, he's probably, I think he's like 6'5", 6'6", and he's just a huge guy. And it has, like, you know, it's believable in and of the fact that he could, like, capture all these people and, like, kill them in this place. What's not believable about it is just all the shit that happens in the middle with the telekinesis and all that, but that just adds something else to it, to where you're like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? And it's with the dummies and all that too, and just, it's a batshit kind of crazy movie that also has like one of the coolest kind of atmospheres that I've ever seen. So that's one that I'll be watching again. And this is the uncut.
That's the new uncut one.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask about the transfer on that, because I was actually watching part of this movie the other night on Shudder, and it looked fucking terrible. Like, it
does, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, on Shudder, it looks like shit. Well, I was watching the stuff last night, and it looks like shit on Shudder too. But you know, shit on Shudder should be a fucking song.
Oh, sure.
Shit on Shudder. But I don't know what the deal is with them. If they can't get rights to some of these like companies' Blu-rays, I'm assuming that's it.
I don't know. I actually don't own Shudder. I've just got so many services. Like, I just bought HBO Max the other day from Malignant, and now I'm stuck on it right now and going through some stuff. And you know, it's not cheap either. So I don't have Shudder. I want it, but it's like I don't watch enough TV to keep adding these things to it. But man, I didn't appreciate Tourist Trap until very recently. I've had Tourist Trap in my collection forever, but I think who put it out was like a cult video movie or something, like the DVD. And it was so dark and grainy that I remember watching it and being like, I can barely see what's going on. And I just pulled it out and, you know, tossed it aside. And when Full Moon came out with their first Blu-ray of it, which was kind of cut, which I didn't know at the time. I bought it just because I'm like, the other one looked so crappy. Let me buy it and see how it looks. And it looked fantastic. And it just gave me a whole new like view of this movie, and I fell in love with it. And you're right, Chuck Connors he's believable. That's the thing. He's creepy. He's big. I don't know if anybody's seen Summer Camp Nightmare, but he's the main, I wouldn't say villain, but he comes off as like a real creep in that movie. And I just think he does such a fabulous job. seeming, playing those roles and seeming creepy. But I think that was a great pick, and I do not have that uncut version. So, how's the quality on it?
Well, it's like I was telling Wes. Like the quality is definitely an upgrade from all the versions that I've known of before. But it's still not great. Man, it's just like if there's something about the elements of that movie where they can't like really fully restore it, or if it's maybe because it has something to do with Charles Band, I don't know. But it's just not really still where it should be. Yeah, it's full moon feature, so it's not going to be. It's not going to be.
Yeah, mine's full moon as well.
Yeah.
But you know what though, you kind of both of you actually, between Dark Half, Monkey Shines, and Tourist Trap, it's almost like I want to add them to my list now because it has been a good while since I've seen Tourist Trap and Dark Half for sure.
There you go. Tanya Roberts is in that movie too, right?
Yes, she is, man.
Brunette hair in that, if I'm not mistaken.
She is something else.
Woo!
That's right. That would be right around or actually before her Beastmaster days.
And that was before her Skinamax days too, baby. With you was on everything late night, Saturday night.
She's on silk stockings on Saturday night at 6:05.
Those were the days, man.
Yep.
Early WCW, early 90s WCW is my favorite.
Well, what I'm going to have to do for these countdown videos is rip the Silk Stockings theme song, and that'll be part of our countdown.
What's going to happen is people are going to hear it and they're going to be starting to feel uncomfortable, like they're not sure if they should continue to watch it.
Listen, they won't be any more uncomfortable than they'll be when we play Get Wet. I guarantee
that was like the feeling when Raw ended and Silk Stockings came on. You kind of look and you're like, all right, I know my parents aren't in the room. I'm watching Silk Stockings,
That woman starts screaming. Oh, God. Oh.
So what you got, Garrett?
All right, this will be quick, and just because I haven't watched this version yet, love this movie, and that is Prince of Darkness, the 4K. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm excited to check it out. Absolutely love Prince of Darkness. It's been I probably haven't watched that movie in about a year, so curious to see how the 4K looks. That was one where I was debating upgrading the 4K, but I think if anything's going to look great, at the highest quality, it's a movie like that. I just love the atmosphere on Prince of Darkness. I love it as a whole. So excited to check that again.
Pretty much any John Carpenter film until you get to Ghost of Mars is going to look amazing on 4K because he filmed everything was it like the Panavision widescreen or something like that with the freaking almost like 70 millimeter. So yeah, it's going to look amazing. And that's probably like one of my more underrated his movies too.
I agree.
It was one of those movies back in the day, especially. It was almost like John Carpenter didn't even make that movie. Nobody talked about it. I love that artwork, their original artwork. So I'm glad that Scheme Factory chose to go that route for that one because I don't know. I
the
like
DVD artwork was terrible. Remember that?
Yeah.
That DVD artwork did it no favors.
Wet Movie, I will send you the Get Wet song. That'll be your new theme song. That's yours.
He's going to be rocking around his house, listening to it, blasting it on his stereo.
You can say whatever you want to about that song, but I swear to God, it was stuck in my head for like 3 fucking days after that video. Like, I could not get it out of my head.
That's funny.
Please, God. Do not talk about Ghosts of Mars and it ruling, because everybody knows that movie does not fucking rule.
Something about Ghosts of Mars, though. Did you know, and I think I knew this at one time, but I forgot. Ghosts of Mars was originally a sequel to Escape from L.A.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was Escape from Mars. That was the original name of the...
that makes sense.
And Kurt Russell was supposed to be in Ice... Was it Ice-T? Ice Cube? One of those ice guys that was in it. So it's, yeah. It seems like I'd heard about that, but I'd never... I'd forgot about it. So, here's another one that I picked up over the last couple of months, and I'm a fan of this movie. It's a bad movie. I am nostalgic for the movie. I saw it in the theater. It's one of the earliest horror movies I remember seeing in a movie theater. and it is Return of the Living Dead Part 2. This is
Another classic.
This is the Scream Factory Special Edition, and it's nowhere near as good as the original, of course, but I think it's fun. It's got some cool bits in it. Zombie Michael Jackson towards the end of
It's just so
that.
fucking
Random,
goofy.
so random.
And Ken
So
Wiederhorn
random.
is the same dude that made King Frat. How odd. That's just so weird. You know, the same guy that directed Return of the Living Dead Part 2. But oddly enough, James Cairn and Tom Matthews are in this, but as different characters.
Oh, see, I didn't even recall that they
they're
weren't
different.
playing the same character.
They're different characters. They have different names. Tarman in this looks like dog shit. He looks terrible.
Yeah,
He
looks
does.
terrible. It was so bad.
But I don't know. I've always loved this movie for some reason. It's stupid. It's not very good, but this is one that I'm definitely watching again in the next month or so.
It does have this kind of charm to it. It's like they took the comedy part way, way too far out, but like there's something about it that still works.
And I gotta
some
say
way.
again, I know we give Scheme Factory a lot of shit, and we're going to continue to do so. But
Yeah.
the Year 3 show, it's going to be good. But I love the artwork on that that they did. If there's one thing that I think they may have improved on for sure would be, I'm not a big fan of that original poster art. So I like the color scheme, and I'm not sure who they got to do the artwork on this, but it's pretty cool.
I like the original artwork, but what I liked that they did was that in the first one, it's the same artist, and it pretty much almost goes hand in hand with each other. And I like that they kind of did it that way. So that's what I like about what they did with that original artwork. Is you take part 1 and 2, and it's like it goes hand in hand. So I always thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Michael Birmingham was asking about Tarman. You can kind of see him up there at the top.
It almost looked like it was like a bootleg Tarman. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, it's like-
Tarman.
It was a made in China Tarman.
Goofy looking shit. Okay. I don't know. Some people will probably agree with this. Some people will probably not agree with this, considering like the state of the world that we're in right now. But I've always, since I revisited this a couple of years ago, it's become one that I like to watch like every now and then because it pretty much predates everything going on, and it's one of the creepiest, especially the first 20 minutes is one of the creepiest intros to anything that I've seen. This is Stephen King's The Stand miniseries. The original, they made 2 of these. They made another one like last year that fucking sucked ass. But this is the original that Mick Garris did. And it's probably the best thing Mick Garris ever did, to be honest. Like, I mean, Mick Garris did Sleepwalkers, and Mick Garris did Critters 2.
Psycho 4?
Yeah, he did Psycho 4, so I give him that. But, I mean, for those people that don't know, that haven't seen this, and I can't imagine that many people haven't seen this, but the story behind this movie is basically that, like in a military installation, like a virus gets out, infects a small group of people, then it starts to take over, like, the world. But at the end, the only difference between that and what's going on now is at the end of this, there's like a huge showdown between good and evil and God and the devil, and it's a whole setup for that too.
Well, that could still happen in real life. Who knows?
That could happen in the near future. But I gotta say, this movie holds up pretty well, or miniseries. It's not a movie; it's actually a miniseries. Holds up pretty well 20-some years later. So
You can get that at a really good price now too. I think.
Yeah.
It's like $10.
$10, $12, something like that.
Yep.
All right, this next one I have not watched yet, but it was actually a recommendation from. Oh, no.
Sorry, but that's so true.
Mick Garris is actually playing Sally Hardesty in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Yeah.
And this was a recommendation for Uncle Bill over there, the Mortuary Collection. So it's been sitting here in the I have to still watch list stack that I have. So that's on deck. to watch. Hopefully this October, because he says good things about it, and I've heard other people say good things about it. So interested to check it out.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really don't. Like, you like horror anthologies and you like Clancy Brown, then you're good to go.
So I think it'll be a good watch.
Cliff W's asking about a movie. I know we reviewed it. It's called Halloween Night. I think the Asylum did it. We did review that movie. I'm almost positive. I don't recall it now, but if you want to go back on the site, you can check it out. Do you remember? I remember the cover of it. I'm pretty sure we reviewed it.
I remember it because it was right around the time they were doing like rip-offs of everything, and it's just a Halloween rip-off, basically.
It was before the Asylum realized that they could just keep making like a killer shark movie every year, and they're good.
Yeah. Love
This
the
is
Asylum.
one that I was going to watch last year. It's set on Halloween night. It's got a really cool atmosphere to it. And Screen Factory also did a special edition of this one as well. It is the collector's edition of Tom DeSimone is a Hell Night.
That was on deck for me tonight, but I kind of put it off to the side. Love that movie.
We can talk about it though.
Love it.
I love the movie too. It's been a few years since I've seen it. It's one of those movies that Anchor Bay Entertainment came out with back in the day, and I think I originally bought it to resell it, and then I watched it and I kept it. I loved it. Because
That's the thing, though. You gotta something about that movie too, aside from like Linda Blair being in it, but the art and the set decoration and everything of that mansion that they're in is amazing. And the killer in it is actually pretty cool too. Gorked Out Andrew. The whole thing works. I love that movie too. I watched that movie when I was a kid, probably 10, 11 years old or something like that. Always liked it. And Tom DeSimone is actually a really cool guy. Did we interview him?
We did.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's on an old episode of Dead Pit. Talked to him a lot about this particular movie. And I got to say, Linda Blair looks fantastic in almost any movie that she's in from around this time period. But this movie in particular, man, I don't know if she ever looked any better than she did in this movie.
Yeah, I'm a huge Linda Blair fan. So I love everything she was in back then. So I mean that's such a great movie, and the artwork is killer, and even the Screen Factory artwork, they did a good job. And so yeah, Hell Night for me is a definite go-to if you guys haven't checked it out. It's got a real good tone to it, and it fits right in around Halloween.
See what I like? This is the original artwork here, and they kind of just did a play on it with the newly commissioned
it's very similar.
But yeah, they also had what was his name? I always call him Donnie Osmond.
He looks like Donnie Osmond.
He was in Friday the 13th 4 as well.
What the hell is that guy's name? Yeah, somebody out here will know it.
Peter Barton, I think, was his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with this. It's set on Halloween night. It's a lot of fun. It's a killer edition from our good buddies at Screen Factory.
It's a shame that they put out like a lot of good stuff.
They really do. I just don't like the way they conduct business, baby.
No, they don't. They don't do it well.
So
who's it?
Who's next?
Who is next?
You.
Son of a
Uncle
bitch.
Hurry!
Ready for that?
Hurry up!
I'm sorry. I'm trying. Okay, Garrett, you mentioned earlier that you were watching James Wan because of the Malignant movie.
Malignant.
Well, I actually went an opposite direction with it, because the thing that movie made me want to watch around this time of year is this. This is the original. This is the Malignant precursor from Frank Henenlotter. And this is the Something Weird one that I've had forever. I've also got the other one in there, the Arrow one, I think. Yeah. But for those people that haven't seen Basket Case, I'm hoping everybody on here has seen Basket Case at one time or another. And actually the sequels too. Like, this was just a fucking crazy movie.
The fucking third Basket Case.
So, man, all those Basket Case movies were amazing in their own way.
They get sillier as they go, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just funny.
But
yeah.
This one is one that's just like, it doesn't get any like more original and crazy than this movie. And I love the fact that Henenlotter, like, all of his films had a certain look, and they all looked like the place they were shot. They were all like captured the kind of presence of New York City, and like everything about them looked like grindhouse movies.
Frank Henenlotter's another one that we interviewed back in the day.
Yeah.
All these great interviews are over at DeadPitOnPatreon.com.
What a segue.
Shit.
You know what's funny? I've been listening to a lot. I'm going to tell you, and I listened to you guys' review on *Malignant*. I actually had a thumbnail made and all this other stuff to go at it. And then all of a sudden when I woke up, I saw there was just like everybody had done it. So I was like, forget it. I'm not going to do a video on it. And then one of the thumbnails I created, someone else that I follow that follows me as well, had made almost like a similar thumbnail. So I was like, I'm too late. So I was like, I just scrapped the whole idea and did like a review on my Instagram with a picture or whatever. But I honestly, like, I loved it. It's one of those movies where, to me, if I find a movie that I think about days afterwards, like, and like itching to like watch it again, like that's what I felt with this movie. And it's been a while since I've had that feeling. I had that feeling with It Follows. I felt like that was another movie when I watched it for the first time. Afterwards, like a week afterwards, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh man, I got to check it out again." And I did, and I went and watched it again. And it's been a while now. Do I think *Malignant's* a masterpiece? No, but I just thought it was just well done. It was cool. I was so happy that that's the route they went with the twist, because I kind of called it, and my wife's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, I it's got to be. I'm like, if this thing is, I was like, if this thing turns out to be like a ghost, like an entity, I'm like, they missed such a great opportunity. Like that was the battle I was having back and forth. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people know about Basket Case, because I've watched a lot of reviews just to kind of see what other people are saying about it. Are people like loving this movie, or it's getting mixed reviews from people? But you know, the one thing I do hear people say was how original it was when it came to the twist. And it isn't exactly the same, but you know, in a sense, it's kind of been done before. That's how I, as halfway through the movie, thought like that's a possibility of what this thing was going to be. So I don't think a lot of people that you'd be surprised have seen Basket Case.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but that's another one of those movies too that for our generation, a lot of people have seen it. But I don't know, like after you go, you know, to the 90s kids and the 2000 kids and stuff like that, like I don't think anybody really knows what the fuck a Frank Henenlotter is. You know, if you bring up Basket Case or Frankenhooker, that's just not stuff that caught on in any way.
Definitely, if you know, one thing that we can all agree on, those movies are not mainstream movies.
No, and you're probably right. If you're someone coming in now, I guess those are movies that you're gonna kind of have to dig for them. You know, it's not something that you're gonna see all the time, like pop up and stuff. So you're right. You're probably right about that.
Now I don't have the Arrow Blu-ray. I did see the Something Weird Blu-ray of Basket Case, and to be honest with you, it looked like a DVD. I didn't. Is Basket Case one of those movies that, I mean, unless Don May Jr. gets a hold of it, it's never really going to look that great?
I can't tell you. It's been a long time since I've watched that Blu-ray Arrow. So I don't remember, but yeah, it's like one of those movies when you watch it and you're like, how good could this really look? You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that to me is like, it kind of benefits from the shittiness of it, really. Because it's really supposed to look shitty. Like, I mean, you could look like a Maniac or something like that. It just, those movies just, they have a look and a grit to them or something that, like, you know. I was
just going to say the grit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if you upgrade them, they're still going to have that. So it doesn't really matter that much to me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, you know, 4K is coming at some point, though. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can guarantee that.
So, who's next?
Well.
This, I gotta put this up real quick. I didn't think about this, but this is so fucking true. When Gabriel, he's got them little bitty, like,
scary movie too. Yeah,
little bitty hands
like that.
That's so true though. Like, what the fuck? Okay, one thing about that movie, real quick. What they did surgery, and they took off his arms and legs. What was he going to do with them? Like, what? How did that help anything? It's just, he wasn't doing anything with them to begin with. He was using her. Like, they just stuffed,
like little
stuffed her
bird
fucking...
or something.
I don't know.
Well, I like those, the part where they, like, have her skull cut open, and they, like, kind of just jam the rest of his face and shit down
they got too lazy to finish the job. They're like, yeah, we'll just get him in here.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's like the more you think about it, the more there was just things that it started to like make sense early. Like, you know, like I don't want to spoil stuff, but I know hopefully
I think I already did.
But yeah. But like, you know, the initial hit with the boyfriend and cut her open, like that exposed him, which while he was kind of for so long like not around was because he was locked in there, and that opened up, you know, the door, I guess, for him to get out, which, you know, when you look back on it now, you kind of think it's pretty clever that that's what kind of triggered everything that happened was he could get out now, you know? So I thought that was just kind of neat as you start to think about it, you know, all putting all the pieces together. All right, well, here's one that I know you guys are probably going to talk about at some point. I don't know if you're waiting on it, if you have it or not. But we can talk about it a little bit here because I want your guys' opinion as well. This is the WNUF Halloween special that was just announced by the partners over at Vinegar Syndrome. Well, that's the original DVD version of it. And I'm contemplating if I should upgrade or not. And I'm just curious if anybody here, if you guys or anybody in the chat knows, like, what's going to be the difference here. I want you guys to sell me on if I need to upgrade this or not. I'm thinking no, even though I think that the box and the artwork and stuff that's coming with that looks awesome. Looks like an old VHS tape. Well, but I'm curious to know what's on it. Like, this is just, it's done so poorly on purpose that I'm wondering, like, is the transfer going to be clean? Like, I don't know what to expect here.
I want somebody to just sell me on it because I have never seen it, nor have I really ever heard about it up until recently. I mean, is it something that's worth buying?
Listen, I'm going to say this. I personally think it's overhyped, in my opinion. I think it's all right. It's I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of just like you're watching like infomercials that you would have seen back in the day for around Halloween. Like it's not, it's hard. It's almost to say it's not even like a real movie, really. Like, it's hard to say like what it is exactly, but I don't know. I'm just curious on like what is going to be done to this thing that's going to make me want to get it again.
Well, for me, I pre-ordered it. I thought it looked interesting enough as just some sort of gimmick thing to watch on Halloween. I'd never seen it before. I
think it is a good gimmick thing to watch. So you don't have it either, right? So neither of you guys own this?
No.
Oh, well, then I would definitely grab it just to have it, because it is something kind of cool to watch around Halloween.
I think.
But yeah, I'm just curious if anybody thinks it's worth me to upgrade.
It's well done. I mean, I honestly thought it was a legit Halloween special from 1987 when I first saw stuff on it until I looked into it. So I don't know how they did all that, but it legit looks like something that somebody videotaped back in the day, like a third generation VHS or something. But yeah, right. I mean, as far as, I'm sure, I think Michael Birmingham mentioned there'll probably be new special features and stuff like that on it, but I'm noticing more and more, and Vinegar Syndrome is one of these companies that's doing this. You're getting shot on video stuff released on Blu-ray. And don't let anybody bullshit you and tell you that it's going to look better than the DVD, because it's not. You can't fucking take a home video and convert it to 1080p. I mean, you can say that you did it, and maybe people are fucking dumb enough to believe it, but no. And I'm seeing that more and more with a lot of stuff. I think video violence is one they're working on, and
I would recommend. Video violence is cool, but I'm not going to upgrade mine. I have the 1 and 2 on DVD, and it's not the type of movie I really need on Blu-ray.
Look, you need to go with the Wood Chipper Massacre or fuck off.
I mean, it's, you know what? But that I get that's coming, man, because they're all from the same. Like, I even think this is from that same label. I believe. I think this is that same label as well. So I think they're all going to probably come.
Adam
There's another
Avies
one,
fan
Campfire or something.
says that there's a WNUF Christmas special that's going to be on the Blu-ray.
Really? I had no idea about that.
So, yeah, but I mean, I would have bought I think Vinegar Syndrome had the record too, but they must have only had like 15 copies of it because it was gone within the first 20 minutes that update was on there.
I saw it on there today, but I mean, I didn't click it, so it might say sold out when if I clicked on it. But
it's sold out almost immediately. So I like the gimmick Halloween records and stuff, but
yeah.
Somebody brought up Camp Motion Pictures, which is what we're talking about, though. But that was an interesting label. Like back in the day when they were first coming out with stuff, like I liked a lot of that stuff. It was like really low budget, shot on video, independent films from like the 80s, and I thought it was great.
Splatter
like
Farm, man, that one's love that one.
I mean, it was kind of like a little bit lower version of The Dead Next Door. It was like all those movies looked like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, that was great for its time.
Ooh, we got a pseudo celebrity in here. Camp Motion Pictures distributes all of my movies. I think I know who this is. I think the Creepy Kentuckian and Uncle Bill was on one of those movies. We had a cameo.
Oh, really?
Right? Was Stash on? Was it on like Bloody Moon Films or Camp Motion Pictures or something like that?
I'd have to go get my copy of Stash because I don't know.
I don't know either.
So I take it they're still around, doing their thing.
Yeah, it was Stash. As far as I know.
Yeah, I have a lot of their DVDs, but again, it's a tough upgrade for me.
So this is one that my wife kind of inspired. We're gonna have a double feature night. You know what's weird is all of the movies that we've reviewed on Dead Pit over the years, we have only reviewed one of these movies in actual review form on the show. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2. And I love that artwork, man. I mean, that's just pure video store up there. But this one in particular, I have not seen this movie in at least 10 years or longer. And looking back at it, I think that part 2 may be my favorite aside from the first movie.
Part 2 is my favorite. Part 2 is my favorite besides the first. Besides the first, part 2, 1 through 4 are my other 4 best. Dream Warriors was always right up there for me, but part 1's my favorite. 2 is next for me. Just because to me, it's just screams 80s, and it's just different than the rest. You know, you have a guy as the lead in that series. It's just, it's cool, man. I think that it's a very underrated, and I think it's finally getting a lot more praise now than it ever has.
It's got some hokey stuff in it, but Freddy is a dark character in it.
Oh.
And after this movie, he kind of becomes more of a comedic character. Right. And this movie has just a dark tone through it. I mean, there's a lot of the homosexual stuff in it, which people have pointed out. I mean, hell, it is what it is. But, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to checking this out. And I grabbed the VHS just because the DVD or the Blu-ray edition of this is a joke. I don't even want to hold that thing up. So, whenever Scheme Factory, whoever it is, announces this shit, I am buying that the first damn day.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's something that I don't know what the frig they've been doing for all these years. You know, all these other franchises have come out with all these great releases. And then the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is just bullshit. Like, all the Blu-rays of those movies are just ridiculous. But neither here nor there.
Jack Shoulder, though, by the way, we interviewed him, the director.
He also directed Alone in the Dark, which I'm getting ready to get. Yeah.
Yeah, they finally shipped that out without giving you a gift card.
Buddy, they don't even know what a gift card is. They're like, what the fuck's that? We take your money, not the other way around.
Here's your gift card, motherfucker.
I'll give you a fucking son of a bitch. Shove that up your fucking ass. All right. So, nobody will ever see this coming, and I, at this point in my life, just do not give a fuck, because this is like a great movie that I didn't know anything about until about 5 years ago. People that have seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, like people love that movie, and it's a great movie to watch on Halloween, but I actually think I like this as much as the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is the second movie that came out that Richard O'Brien did after he did Rocky Horror Picture Show. Shock Treatment. Is it a Halloween movie? You might ask yourself. It's kind of crazy. It's about like a couple, and they're not getting along too well, and they end up like admitting the guy to a psychiatric institution because like he doesn't want to be in the relationship, and they don't want to be in the relationship anymore. So rather than get a divorce, he gets admitted to a psychiatric hospital where all these crazy ass things start to happen to him. And it's all like a reality TV show too, by the way, which is kind of like way ahead of its time. But the real part about this movie that I love is the soundtrack, because I mean it's the same guy, so he wrote all the songs, but they're completely different than the fucking stuff on the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So this is the Arrow release. It came out not too long ago, actually. I like highly encourage people to get this movie and watch it. A lot of people hate this movie, but I think it really got like shit on because it's not Rocky Horror. And how do you make a sequel to Rocky Horror anyway? That wouldn't.
Oh, God.
And make it work. You know.
There's a couple of movies named Shock Treatment, though, right? Like I get these movies confused. I think there was an English movie named Shock Treatment, or a Italian movie or something like that. I think so.
I'll admit that I've never seen Shock Treatment, and what's funny is I own it and it's never been opened. I bought this. I think it was a UK. I don't know if who did it. I don't know if it was Anchor Bay, but it was like these huge lips. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's like a big tin. It was like the huge lips, and I have that displayed on one of my movie shelves in my library. And in there is Rocky Horror. It's got some fun stuff, and then it's also got Shock Treatment in there as well. And I think Shock Treatment's still sealed. So I don't think I've ever opened it or watched it or anything like that. So now I'm more apt to do that. I'm interested.
It's one of those movies too where you watch it, and then at least this happened to me. Like I'm sure there's movies like this for both of you guys, where you watch it and you're like, I don't fucking really like, but then you start thinking about it, and then the more you think about it, like you go back and watch it, and then it becomes like some sort of weird cult thing, you know, where you want to see it over and over and over again.
No, definitely. I mean, it's always good to have those movies that you feel like you can go back to like that.
Who owns the original Rocky Horror? Is it like Warner Brothers or something?
It's Fox. 20th Century Fox. Yeah.
Fuck, it may never come out in 4K then, because isn't that like Disney now?
Yeah, that would be true. Yeah.
Oh shit! I was thinking that would be a cool one for 4K.
It would be. That's also another movie to watch on Halloween too.
So what do we got next, G?
All right, I'll jump in, but I'm going to tell Ice Ice Bowie to go watch our Anchor Bay video.
Oh yeah, he's asking about a few things, yeah. But the Dead.
All right, so the next one I have is one that I've kind of been hyping for quite a while. I actually blind bought this a few months back and absolutely fell in love with it. And it's a movie called Night Visitor. I don't know if anybody has it or anybody's familiar with it, but I had never heard of it before. I just was sold basically on this cover art, and then I looked up the trailer and I said, "Oh, this looks like something I'll be into," and I loved it. And I think it's got a good feel for Halloween. It actually, if you like Fright Night, I say it's probably the most similar to that movie than anything else I can think of. But basically, it is about a teenager who thinks his teacher is a satanic killer, and he's going around trying to figure out if that's true or not. And I thought it was great. The music's awesome. It's got some 80s like hair metal, like, you know, ballads in there and stuff. And It's killer, man. And I think this is just a real cool movie that no one ever talks about. And I looked it up, and it did come out from MGM on DVD, I guess, back in the day, which I did not own. And I wish this was the poster art for it. I'm looking. It's like this was the video poster. The one sheet looks terrible. It actually is. It looks awful. It looks almost like a Friar Tuck or something like that on the picture. I was like, this is like the worst. Because I was trying to buy it because I wanted to display it, and I was like, it's the worst poster I've ever seen in my life. So, but yeah, Night Visitor. It's actually by Scorpion, and I think you can still buy this only at Ronin Flicks website. It's the only place I've seen it, and with Scorpion, these things can sell out pretty quick. So,
what an
I
odd
highly
website,
recommend
by
this.
the way.
It is very odd. I'm not even sure.
I don't even know.
Very odd site.
Yeah.
Like they carry random stuff. Like they'll carry Scorpion or like Code Red and their own stuff. It's like it's all over the place, man. But their prices are pretty good and they have sales all the time. So I would definitely check it out if anybody's interested. If anybody's a Fright Night fan, it's not as good, but it's cool. Night Visitor.
Disturbia. That's one I haven't heard.
Every year I try to pick a couple of movies that I've never ever seen, but looks like something that I would like. And this is one I got, I think it was the halfway to Black Friday sale from Vinegar Syndrome. You guys can give me a heads up, or anybody in the chat if you've seen this. It suffers from an incredibly shitty name and even shittier artwork. But the trailer actually looks really freaking cool. So I'm going to finally check it out here in a month or so. Whodunit? From our good buddies at Vinegar Syndrome. It's also known as Island of the Dead or something like that, which...
I feel really bad because I own that and I've never fucking watched it. But yeah, I've got the same one.
I don't own that one, so I've never seen it either.
Yeah, it's a slasher movie. So, but it just, like I said, watch the trailer and it looks way better than a movie named Whodunit should.
Yeah.
What?
Well, shit. I'm going to have to find the shit that just fell off the side of the chair.
Yeah, buddy. I can go through another one real quick while you're
yeah, go ahead.
doing that. Oh, let's see here. What else have I got? I haven't watched this edition. I have seen this movie numerous times.
Love it.
I'll show you this because it's not as glittery. This is perhaps Severin's most well-known movie they've released. I don't know. Maybe not. This was in that lot that I've talked about for years of laser discs that I bought, and I watched this movie real late by myself.
Oh, fuck. I was going to put that one up, too.
Well, fuck you. I got it first.
Fuck you, buddy.
George C. Scott, The Shangalang, or The Changeling. Or
The Shangalang. That's right.
1980, my birth year, The Shangalang.
That's going to be a new shirt on the site. The Shangalang.
The Shangalang.
Use the same font and everything. It's The Shangalang.
Like a dance from the 70s. Let's do the Shangalang, everybody.
But it's a very atmospheric movie. It's kind of a slow build. Maybe not everybody would appreciate it, but when I watched it that night on Laserdisc, and yeah, it kind of freaked me out a little bit.
That movie, to me, I think that's the inspiration for all those fucking James Wan movies. Like, everything about that seance scene, I think that he just, like, watched that and was like, all right, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Like, and it's just, like, one of the best haunted house movies, like, murder mystery kind of movies ever. It's great.
Yeah, it's a real good movie. It's one of those ones, like I've talked about before, where I just like the tone of movies like that. Like I'm good with, movies that are kind of drawn out a little bit and you have to really build a story before things start happening, where I can see a lot of people watching that and being bored. But I think that it does a fabulous job, building up tension and stuff like that. And it's a cool story. And I don't know if you guys remember when they released that, and I'm not sure if that's even still available anymore from Severin. Is it? Is that sold out and gone at this point?
I think the standard edition is still available for sure.
Okay, because they had some other editions. Remember, you could choose if you wanted to come with like that red ball.
Yeah,
they were like putting the red ball.
The red ball's on clearance forever too, for like $3. Oh God, nobody's buying that damn ball.
Oh shit!
I thought they'd want it.
There's some gimmicks that are just no. They're not gonna work.
You guys consider Blood Diner a Halloween film? John says I feel like it should be.
I mean, not really, because I could watch that movie any time of the year, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched that one, actually. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's more of just a hokey, like, I don't know. You could watch that pretty much any time.
We got a celebrity on here.
We got Fat Rob Zombie in here tonight. Oh, God.
He's doing it. Yeah, he wrote a new song.
Kitchen, my stomach is itching. I slam some butter on bologna.
That's fucking good. I wish I was that creative.
Well, you did a pretty good job singing it, man. I'll tell you that.
What the fuck? All right, so
who next?
I got it. This one is like you were talking about picking a film that you like or thought you might like but have never seen. And somehow or another, I've never seen this movie, even though it's been out like multiple different editions. And that is Lucio Fulci's Demonia. Demonia.
I've never seen it.
From my understanding of it, it's about possessed nuns. And I think, what else do you need, really? I think it was supposed to be a sequel to another one of his movies, but it wasn't. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to watching it because there's not enough killer nun movies in the world.
Yeah. That
now,
was,
have you guys seen that? You said or no?
I've never seen this.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know how I've never seen it, but yeah, because it's been like there's been at least 2 or 3 different editions of that movie come out. I know.
Yeah,
I think Blue Underground had it at one time.
Yeah, I think Shriek Show had it back in the day too. It was one of those movies that Steve kind of warned me about, but I do have it. I've never watched it yet, but I mean, fuck, just by looking at the trailer on it and stuff, it couldn't be that bad. It looks like it could at least be entertaining.
All right, I can probably put these two together. And I have an opinion from you guys too, because we talked last time when we did Halloweentown about Dario Argento films and stuff like that. And to me, besides like Suspiria, I even think Bird is I remember a lot of that, Demons, all that stuff. But a lot of the other ones to me really blend, and I haven't seen them enough to really be able to tell them apart as far as which one is which. So I want your opinion on which one I should check out. The two I brought to the table, obviously, was Suspiria. I just haven't seen this in a while. So I wanted to rewatch it. And no, I don't have the 4K, though. I only got this one.
Well, get the fuck out. Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, remember how it's so crazy. This took forever to come out. And then it was like the 4K came out. It felt like a year later. I was like, I just freaking bought that thing. Now
it was really quick.
Saying that you're saying it trumps this thing.
Listen, if I never say anything else that's true in this world, it will be that 4K is like one of the best looking 4Ks that you will see. I promise.
Okay.
Bye.
I brought this one out as well. The Steelbook for Phenomena.
See,
I love that.
It's been a long minute since I've seen that one, but I'm asking you, like, Deep Red, like, would you recommend that one? I have it on Blu-ray from Blue Underground. I think that's who put out the one I have. But I don't even know if I've even watched it since Anchor Bay's DVD days, when I had like a double pack with like Tenebra or whatever. So
I don't even know.
And again, I think it goes back to Malignant, where it kind of had a little bit of that, pieces of it in there. And I'm like, maybe I could start watching more of these, because I've probably seen a lot of those like once in my life.
I don't know how to recommend which one of those movies, because they're all like great, but they're all completely different in my mind. Like, some people might think they're pretty close, but they're really not. Like, Suspiria is its own fucking thing. Like, the first 15, 20 minutes of Suspiria is probably one of the best 15, 20 minute openers of all time. So you put that there. But, Phenomena is fucking batshit crazy. It has a great score, too. It's got Jennifer Connelly. And then, what was the other one?
Tenebra and Deep Red.
Deep Red is his best giallo, but Tenebra is his most violent giallo. So I don't know. Like,
Okay.
I love all those movies.
I don't think you can go wrong with any of his stuff. Like, I watched Cat o' Nine Tails, which is pretty much known as one of his worst movies from the classic era, and it's still not that bad. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't pre-order the Deep Red 4K, so I just have that same old Blu-ray. So I'm wondering if I should jump on that as my reasoning to then watch it again. Because I'm sure it's going to look fabulous, just like, because his movies are kind of, to me, like the style of his movies are made for, just the best quality. Like things are going to really pop.
The thing I love about him so much, and I was talking to Wes about this today, though, is that I'm going to be doing before Halloween, like a series of videos on different Argento movies. But the thing I like about him so much is that he didn't concentrate any on the actual narrative story as much as he concentrated completely on the visual parts of the film. That's why those movies are so memorable and people still think about them to this day, because everything visual in those movies was set up so much precision.
Just out of curiosity, Uncle Bill, did you ever watch Sleepless?
Actually, that's another one that I had over here.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that. But now, as far as his most underrated movie, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I think it's Sleepless.
Okay. Yeah, I hate the ending of Inferno too, Stuntman Mark. That movie, shit. Well, I'm making a whole series of these, so who gives a fuck about talking about it right now? But we'll get into it.
I'll be making sure to watch those, because again, it's a area of horror that I'm not super familiar with. I've seen it, but it's been when the DVD came out 20 years ago, or 15 years ago. So it's I just seeing it one time, I just forget.
I feel that you get the most out of Argento's movies when you watch them all right together. Maybe not back to back to back one night or whatever, but maybe Thursday night you'll watch Tenebrae, and then Saturday night Deep Red. His movies, there's just visually there's so much there. I think it adds to him to actually watch them in spades, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. I'll check them out for sure. I have them all. I just gotta get them all out and start chipping away again.
Yeah. So who's next, Bulls? I fucking forgot.
I think it's
probably
you.
You. Yeah.
Let's see here. I've got so much shit stacked up. Here's one that was recently talked about on another stream. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Right? So this is one that I found on one of my FYE trips. It's a FYE exclusive with the slip and all that. I didn't have this on anything but DVD, so I decided to get it. It's been a long time since I've seen it myself. It's a different sort of, it's not really, it's fun. It's stupid. It's enjoyable. And it's perfect to watch on around Halloween. And some of my favorite stuff that we were talking about the horror autographs things from back in the day, was Chiodo Brothers. Man, they were killer at sending cool stuff back in the mail. I've still got, I think it's an original from, I believe it was Steven Chiodo that did one of the clowns from this movie, drew it for me. So, but yeah, I love Killer awesome, Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you probably already know this because I know you're on the stream. My kids actually did a live stream of that that movie, after they watched it, and I mean it's hard to keep anything to keep their attention at this point, but I get the feeling that they liked it. They liked the weirdest shit. I was watching The Stuff the other day, and they liked it. I was like, what?
That's
how?
That's all the that's all the stuff all that 80s wackiness and horror where you have killer clowns and then killer fluff or yogurt or whatever you want to call it. I mean, same idea with Monkey Shines. It was just, that's what I love about it. It's just so off the walls that they can just take anything and be like, oh, we're gonna make it horror. I love this stuff too, though. Love
That's a movie, by the way. That movie is genius, really. I mean, it's low budget,
God.
but like the idea behind it is amazing.
So good. The commercial and all that stuff. It's awesome. That the scene in the supermarket is like by far like one of my favorites.
Don't you feel too like it's almost like that movie's still kind of underrated, though? I mean,
It
I
is.
think so.
People just don't talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean,
They
Larry
never really had
Cohen.
a proper follow up to that movie. Did the Kyotos? Did they do anything else after that?
Oh, for
I know
Killer
they
Clowns.
did the critters, like they did the design. For
I don't think
Critters
they.
and all that.
I think they did a lot of shit for other movies, but I don't think they really did a movie after that. They did like the one that I remember is they did the puppeteer work and shit for Team America, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they've done.
Oh man,
and
that
they
freaking
did the-
movie was.
They did the Critters, I think. I think it was them that did that.
Can you still remember the first time you saw Team America? Your face probably like all the way
saw
through.
it
It was
in
like
theater.
something you've never seen before. You were like,
Oh yeah,
what the hell is
That
that?
sex scene.
yeah.
I'm thinking, how the fuck did they even get away with? Like, I mean, it's beyond borders. That shit. Like, I don't know how you would.
Oh
it's
my
a
God.
puppet, but at the same time, you know.
I can remember just my jaw being like, and then you know what else I had the same feeling with in the theater? And I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you've seen it, but Borat, that scene where he was like wrestling the guy in the bed. Dude, I'm in the hotel, the movie theater, and I was like choking. Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing like on screen. Like it was just absolutely freaking bonkers. But I can still remember that in Team America, just me being like, I don't know what I'm looking at here.
Yeah. No, that's a special movie for sure.
But talking about like, I'm not going to lie. There's going to be some movies I don't even think I have on DVD or on any format that I'm going to watch because we watch them every year with the kids. Which is going to be Halloweentown. If you haven't seen Halloweentown, I don't know why the fuck you haven't seen Halloweentown. They're going to watch
I haven't
Hocus
seen
Pocus.
Halloweentown.
Are you serious?
No, and fuck Hocus Pocus. I've seen that, and it's
Yeah.
I bet
know you
Sarah
don't-
likes Hocus Pocus, doesn't she?
No, Sarah actually didn't like it either.
Well,
Really?
watch Halloweentown and see if you like something tells me that you'll like that better than Hocus Pocus.
Let me tell you something right now. Okay. Hocus Pocus is nothing compared to the worst witch.
That was the
Worst
third
Witch.
one. That was the third one I was going to say, yeah.
Now that one's about impossible to find on DVD or anything, but
We just stream that like every year. It's really hard to find on stream services too.
anything can happen on Halloween. That's a
Dog can turn into a cat.
Whoa. That's one of those scenes too when you're watching it, you feel like you're stoned on something, but you're not.
Mrs. Garrett. That's just the best shit ever. She's in that.
Now, you guys remember though HBO back in the day showed that movie every Halloween multiple
Yeah,
times.
I remember seeing that as a kid a lot.
That's where I saw it.
But anyway.
who's the next victim?
Probably me.
Yeah, it's you.
Okay, so it's going to be The Entity. I want a ghost movie, and we talked about this. I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid. If you can imagine me watching this as a fucking kid, but
It's
I did.
going to be a different experience now. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I haven't seen. It's been so long since I've seen. I only remember certain parts of it, but I remember like the ending where she's in like a house that they've kind of like set up to try to catch the ghost or whatever. Like some sort of scientists or something like that are trying to catch it as it's like, trying to molest her. And just the idea of that now seems so crazy to me that they actually made a movie about a ghost fucker, like ghost rape movie.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna. I think you're gonna find it to be a hard watch because I totally underestimated it when I put it on again. Like I have seen it, back in the day with DVD, and it's kind of like, oh, it's very similar to Rosemary's Baby. Like that was always kind of what I thought. And then I got the Blu-ray and I checked it out again, and I was like, oof, like this is a lot harder to watch than Rosemary's Baby. I think Rosemary's Baby is enjoyable. This was tough for me, but I definitely think it's worth checking it out again now. Because it's like ruthless. Like the thing's like ruthless. Like I'm like, how do you make it so?
Yeah, I
like,
remember certain scenes in that where it's just like, I can't believe they're doing this. Like,
yeah, and then they play that music, and when you hear them, like all of a sudden the scene will be going, and all of a sudden you hear like the, and I'm like, and then I start paying. I'm like, oh no, he's coming. shit,
Yeah,
we're gonna go through this again.
The soundtrack is so bizarre in that movie too, because it's basically just really, really soft until it gets to those points, and then I guess just driving home what's going on. They're like, yeah. But
I will give some props to the people in the chat. I mean, people are saying a lot of good stuff over there. Garfield's Halloween, man, love that special.
My best friend is a vampire. We watch that one every year too.
Yeah, that's a good one. Even the Jim Carrey one, vampire one is Once Bitten. Like, I think that's great. I don't know, does it get a lot of hate? I don't know. Something Wicked This Way Comes. That's another good one that I can probably put around the Halloweentown type thing. And what's the other one there with Kim Richards? That was the big one back then too.
Kim Richards.
It was like the something Witch Mountain or something. Remember that one?
Oh, Escape from Witch Mountain.
Yeah, that was another big one back then.
Yeah, Disney's released some of this stuff on like their movie club thing, right? Something Wicked This Way Comes is one.
Yeah, I don't even understand like how to get involved in that. Like, what is that?
It sounds like it's
you can't just go on their site and buy it. You've got to like sign up for like a reoccurring fee and all this stuff.
It's similar to like Columbia House. I looked into it. You have to buy like 5 at regular price, and you get like how many for like a penny a piece or something like that. I don't know. But if you wanted like the new ones, you have to buy those at regular price. So there's not really enough on there for me to want to fool with it. But at the same time, that's the only way to get those movies if you're a big fan.
Right.
So.
People are putting up, actually, talking about Once Bitten, I used to watch that movie like 1,000 times when I was a kid, before anybody knew who the hell Jim Carrey was, but love that movie. Ernest Scared Stupid.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun with kids, I would say. I mean, we watched it last year. It's really fucking stupid, though. It lives up to the name.
It's in the name, yeah.
Well, that's another one where I have all the Ernests on DVD kind of all together. And they released a Blu-ray for the one he's in jail. Oh, it goes to jail. Okay, that's what it's called. And Ernest Scared Stupid, they released Blu-rays for those too. And I was like, I'm not going to get them because I have everything together on DVD. It's fine. Well, the Scared Stupid Blu-ray, I think, is worth like a boatload of money now. You can't get it. So if you guys have that, I think it's a rare one, yeah. But the next one I have, and honestly, I'm not sure what I think of this movie anymore. The first time I saw it, I was like, all right, I like that. Watched it again, was like, not sure if I liked it as much as I thought I did. And I want to watch it a third time because I want to watch it right before Halloween Kills comes out, and that is the Halloween from 2018. I want to check it out one more time. I've seen it twice, and I felt like the second time I wasn't as impressed as I was the first time. So I definitely am going to check this out before Halloween Kills comes out. So that's going to be on my list for sure.
The only reason
refresh my memory
why I think I like that movie so much is for the shit that came before it. Like, I think all those Rob Zombie films, like I was just like, when that came out, I was like, finally, like, we can get past all that stupid horse shit and, move on to something that's actually like a straight kind of Halloween film. And I kind of agree that it doesn't like hold up, and it's not one that I want to go back and watch like as much as the other ones, even like 4 or 5 or 6 or any of those like that. But it's just a better film than any of those other ones, and it's actually something that you can stand or tolerate rather than the Rob Zombie one.
You guys know how I am. I have a little soft spot for the Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah,
I'm still working on 2.
We haven't reviewed the first. Well, I don't even know how you describe this. It's Halloween 2018, so we'll get a review of that hopefully out before the Halloween Kills debuts on the cock.
I gotta say though, Rob Zombie's the fucking king of making one half of a movie great and the other half fucking horse shit.
I
Good
agree.
Lord.
But you know what? I'm curious to hear what your thoughts, because in my opinion, and it's always kind of been this way, I find that Rob Zombie's Halloween, when I saw it, I loved it. I telling you, when I first saw that for the first time, I was like, oh man, that was so good. It was so different. I loved it. And I thought a lot of the characters were memorable. Like I just loved young Michael. I thought that, Scout was great and Daniel Harris. And I was just so hyped up. And to me, I love the first half. But I've heard other people say that they absolutely hate the first half and it only is a good movie from the back half on. And I was wondering, I'm like, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that half the movie was good. And I'm like, I wonder if does everybody feel like the half that I like is better, or am I the odd man out with like the first half? Like, and there was a point in time where I thought for sure that movie should have ended, and it just kept going. And I was like, why did you keep going? It was fine here, I think it was that scene in the pool or something. To me, would have been the ending. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys' thoughts on if you say half the movie was good. Which half did you like?
I like the first half. I mean, even though it's got a couple of scenes that I cannot stand, which is like the stuff with the family where everybody's just cussing,
eating breakfast and screaming. I don't like that.
And saying either, shit that nobody would ever say. Like, no, I mean, even if you're abusive, like you're not that fucking abusive. You don't just like sit there and just everything, like one thing right after the other. But like, so if you take that out of it, then a lot of the stuff from the beginning, the stuff with Loomis and Michael and things like that, and him and his mom, like that stuff I thought was at least tolerable. But even he said that like the end of the movie was because of the studio. Like they forced him to make like what would be a Halloween remake, remake the first movie. So I can't stand that. And it's just so fucking, when he goes into that just remaking the movie straight, it's just, you can tell like he doesn't know what he's doing, and it's just boring and like all cluttered up.
I just felt like it started to drag, and then all of a sudden, like it was like then they were down in the basement, and she's trying to get through the boards in the house.
Yeah, when it gets to that point, you just it's like fucking House of 1,000 Corpses. When it gets to the point where she like gets in the rabbit suit and goes down the thing, like it just goes to hell.
Yeah.
Like the same.
That's
thing.
another thing about House of 1,000 Corpses. It's almost like it ends, and you're like, oh wow, that was pretty good, and all of a sudden it starts again. You're like, what is this, a new movie? It's like totally different,
Yeah, it's fucking horse shit. Like the end of that.
It is very interesting.
Love Hurts too is another one that I always. I remember when I first saw it in the theater, I was like, but yeah, the first half for me as well. I didn't like any of it the first time I saw it. But the first half of it grew on me a little bit, similar to House of 1,000 Corpses actually.
True.
I'm next. So this one was mentioned a couple of times in the chat. I'm seeing where Jake mentioned it a few minutes ago. It's a movie that I'm very nostalgic over. It's not perfect. It's aged quite a bit at this point, but I think it's a great little movie, and it's perfect for Halloween, and that is The Lady in White.
Ooh. Somebody mentioned that earlier in the chat.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
love that movie.
Very creepy atmosphere. I love the music that they picked throughout it. It's set, in like the 50s, I think. It's a ghost movie, ghost story.
Yeah, Catherine Hellman. That's her name, right?
Yeah, wasn't she?
Mona.
Yeah.
Who's
Charles
the boss?
In charge, or who's the boss? There you go.
Who's the boss? Yeah.
Frank LaLaggia, who only did, I think he did like one other movie, but I think it bombed, and then it just kind of went away. But this one, man, this is like, I was kind of shocked when Scheme Factory did this and didn't give it a collector's edition. This movie
it doesn't make sense.
It.
It's got two versions of the movie on there. What about that is not a collector's edition? That's what I don't understand.
Right. Yeah, it's confusing. I mean, especially when you give Ninja 3 the Domination got two different.
That's true.
Love that movie, but yeah, it's not very good.
But what doesn't make sense? It's like, what did they really need to do? You just put collector's edition on the top, add a slipcover, boom. It's like you don't have to get permission. I don't think to like, you don't. I don't think you have to go to Lady in White and like as you're getting the rights and be like, do you mind if we write collector's edition on the box? Like, that's what I don't understand. It's not like they had to go through hoops to put a slipcover on the damn thing.
No, but yeah, Wet Movie's talking about here too. Yeah, this is one that's worth quite a bit of money now too. Which I'm sure we'll talk about it in. I don't know what year this one came out, but A lot of
How about-
I keep wanting to say Anchor Bay. A lot of Screen Factory stuff though doesn't stay in print very long, and this was one of them.
What about the DVD of Lady in White? Is that worth anything? Because I could probably part ways with that.
$166. God damn.
Yeah, 70 to 100. Wet Movie says, and Roland is saying it's 166 on Amazon. God Almighty. But yeah, I mean, you could probably stream this somewhere. So if you don't want to break the bank and get the Blu-ray if you don't have it, but
No. Stream it.
Dad.
God damn, there's too much shit over here.
I know it's already 10 o'clock too, boys. What the hell?
Did you really think that was gonna work?
Yeah, I did.
Well, you were fucking wrong.
Damn.
I mean, come on. I'm gonna watch it. What the fuck you want from me?
Trick or treat, son, bitch.
I watch it. There's 2 movies I watch every year at Halloween. Doesn't matter what year it is. This and Big Abner. No, I'm just kidding. It's this and Halloween 3. That's always gonna happen. So I mean,
Yeah, I agree, for sure.
Well,
I don't
last year
know.
I watched Halloween 3, but unfortunately I replaced Trick or Treat with Hellraiser Judgment, and that was a mistake on my part. I should.
yeah. Don't do that. Was that Fat Pinhead? Or was that
That was just really, really boring Pinhead. Like,
Oh, okay.
If you ever have insomnia one night, put that movie on. It's
I don't know
mel-
what else
it's
you
like
could say.
melatonin, baby.
I don't know what else you could say about Trick or Treat or Halloween 3, but they capture the spirit of the season. As does Burnt Offering. Somebody mentioned Burnt Offerings on there. People slept on that movie too. That is a great fucking movie. Karen Black and Betty Davis is in that movie.
Who's got that? Kino, I think, right? Kino released that, I believe. I
Yeah.
think.
Is it hard watching Halloween 3 after meeting Tom Hanks?
That's a good question.
No, not really. I enjoyed it. We watched it last year, so I'm wondering if the new 4K is going to be worth it.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I have
gonna find out.
Halloween 3 right now in my stack of movies that I always watch around Halloween, and yeah, the reason I have it in the stack is because I'm assuming I'm going to get my Halloween 3 because that's the only one I ordered before Halloween. You know, let's hope that happens, right? Let's hope it's not like November something and I'm getting my Halloween 3 4K in. But
No, don't
I will
ask for a
probably,
gift card.
I will definitely check that one out. So again this year. Wet Movie said Lady in White DVD is going for about 20. I'll show 2 at once. I showed these on the Hall of Mania, I think, but 2 Evil Eyes, Dead and Buried. I'm gonna check these out. You guys can see they're still sealed. I have not watched either of these 2 movies in a very, very long time. Since the DVDs were out, that's the last time I've seen either of them. So I did the upgrade into the 4K from DVDs, so I'm hoping to be able to check those out as well this year.
Yeah, I like both of those movies. It's been a while since I've seen 2 Evil Eyes, but Dead and Buried I watched not too long ago, and for the time it was made, it's a really interesting, it's just a different take on kind of a zombie movie, but not really, and I don't know. It's got a good vibe to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out again.
So I'm sitting here thinking, though, has anybody got anything else?
I've got all kinds of shit.
I've just got a stack of just go-tos for Halloween, like guarantee stuff that I'm going to watch. Not anything out of the ordinary, so nothing like I'm going to watch that this year, which I don't usually watch. This is just what I usually always watch every Halloween.
Yeah, so I mean, I can go through these rapidly here. I don't know if I'll get to them. And how many do you have left, Garrett?
I just have 5 that are always on my Halloween list. So I mean, I can kind of go through those quick. I don't have anything different that to talk about.
Okay. So I've got 6, so I'll go first, and we'll just go quickly and get this because, I know you got to go to bed here quickly. I haven't seen this movie in forever. The Scream Factory Blu-ray is fucking outrageous, so I got the 88 Films Blu-ray for like $8. Dolls. Stuart Gordon movie. I remember liking it quite a bit. It's not a very long movie, and I think that'd be a good one to watch around Halloween. Maybe on Halloween night even.
They're fucking dolls. Remember that scene?
Fucking, we watched that one like with the kids. Fran and I watched it with the kids, and they fucking love that movie. And I remember that being kind of a hardcore movie, but it's really not that bad. There's a couple scenes in it, but yeah,
Yep.
It's still a fun movie to watch. So,
Are you going rapid fire?
Yep.
All right. You?
No, we're gonna go back and forth. If you have more, don't you?
Yeah. Just again, I'm always gonna watch this Halloween, but this is that edition that I've talked about before. There's a dude on one of the Facebook groups that takes movies and just makes like cool editions with it. So this is the Sandman Cut, and he does a real good job with it. And basically, he takes part 1 and 2 in HD and he splices them together into one long movie and adds in all the deleted scenes. So it's just for me, it's one of those things. I always watch 1 and 2, so to have that in one giant feature would be a go-to for me this year. That's the version I'm gonna go after, because I didn't order any of those in 4K. So. But it should be a cool watch.
We talked about this one, House of Thousand Corpses. It's been a while since I've seen it, and it's a goddamn shame that they're doing a 4K of 31 and not this movie. What
boo.
the fuck? The same company.
Who the fuck?
Fucking company.
Well, 3 from Hell has a 4K as well. So.
Who wants to watch either one of those movies? By the way, like, let alone in 4K. Who would want to watch them again anyway?
Dude.
Maybe they're looking at that and they're like, House of a Thousand Corpses, that was already in 4K because the thing looks so damn good.
That's what I was saying. This edition, this is one of the early Blu-rays too. Yeah. Oh man, it looks so awesome. So I could only imagine if they actually went in and restored it, remastered, or whatever they do in 4K. I would be all over that, like stank on shit, baby.
Oh yeah. Next one's one we all love. I always watch it around Halloween. Needs an HD version. Kenny and Company. So we've talked about that plenty of times. If you go back in our old videos, we did like a whole month pretty much talking about it here and there. So yeah, to me, it's a coming of age story. It takes place around Halloween, and it's a feel good movie for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a different sort of movie to watch on Halloween, and it's, like I said, it's set around Halloween. I think there's a new edition that's coming out at some point. So we'll be looking for that too. I think you got to have a Killer Scarecrow movie in your watch list once a year.
Do you?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So I'm going to be picking out a good, from our good friend Jeff Burr. This is Night of the Scarecrow.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to go with Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, but you pulled a fast one on me there.
No. If you've seen Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, this is kind of like an updated. I mean, it's a Killer Scarecrow movie. What can you say? And I can't believe this fucking thing come out on Blu-ray. But
me either.
That's one to check out. I enjoyed it. You know,
I've never even heard of it.
Jeff Burr made all kinds of like really low budget horror movies around the mid '90s. I think this one came out like '95. I can't even see in here right now, but this is a good one to try to pick up. I don't know how easy it is to come by anymore, but
what is the Scarecrow one that Tiffany Shepis was in?
It's just called Scarecrow.
Is it just the Scarecrow?
Scarecrow? Okay.
Remember that DVD was like really hard to get at one point. I think it was like big money for whatever reason.
Yeah,
they had like a 2-pack or something, didn't they? Like that one and the sequel. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one.
And it was real hard to find.
It was in the $5 bin where we were at for years. It wasn't
really.
For us to
Yeah,
find.
that was a very out of print DVD.
Now that would be one that maybe Vinegar Syndrome would get a hold of. I could see them doing that. I'd probably buy that actually.
I would too. I can tell you one though that I'm going to watch because on Halloween that I don't have yet, but I just ordered it today. Is the 4K of The Thing. And
yeah, I've been holding off on it, to be honest. It's gonna look awesome, man. It's gonna look killer. I wanted that steelbook. That's the problem. I wanted that steelbook. That thing sold out before I even could like get myself together to order it. And I just have a feeling that it's gonna come back.
Yeah,
I mean,
it will.
That's what I'm holding out for. I'm not gonna buy it because again, the new edition, they said the transfer is great, but there's no special features on it. So they're telling you to keep your Screen Factory one because there's no special features ported over. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hold off and just wait to see if this steelbook comes out like around Halloween again or something, and they just. Because you know what Best Buy is, it'll be sold out, and then all of a sudden you'll go in there and they'll have like a shit ton of it on the shelf. So I'm just trying to hold out, but I'm telling you, it gets harder and harder every time you hear someone talk about how great it looks. I'm like,
well,
maybe I'll just buy it.
Only reason I wanted to do it is because it's like one of my top 3 films, and I wanted to watch it before like Halloween. So I was like, I've got to get this fucker before like it gets to that point because I want to see that.
For me personally,
do a review on it too.
I can watch. The Thing is more like The Shining or something. I can watch it in the wintertime or something. You know what I'm saying?
You can watch it anytime. Like it's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, you can watch it anytime, but I don't automatically think that's like a Halloween movie, at least for me.
It's a great movie. Speaking of one that I think needs a 4K, which would look beautiful in a 4K, is another one that it's a go-to for me, and I think around Halloween it works really well, but for me, like this movie, I don't know what it is. I've said this before. If I'm doing something, like if I'm working down here or whatever, and I just want to throw something on, or if I'm just trying to chill out and I just want to throw something on, for some reason the fog always does it for me. I don't know why. I'm not going to say it's the greatest movie, but there's something about the atmosphere of this movie or the tone that I just love, and I can watch it all the time.
It's got a great, like, I think the thing that makes that movie is honestly, the old guy telling the story, you know, throughout it, because it makes it like a ghost story almost. Mm-hmm. And it is technically a ghost story, but it's not like your typical, you know, haunted house ghost story or anything. But that makes it to me, like the fact that he's telling that by the fire and everything.
And I like her being in the radio host. For some reason, that always, is cool.
She's believable.
I don't know.
Too.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just something about it. I always end up going back to it.
It's not
especially
like
this time. Maybe because I watched it as a kid when I was around Halloween.
Do you remember the remake that had the girl that like her voice was like nails on chalkboard on a
Stevie Wayne here. I'm gonna play some Fallout Boy for you.
Fallout Boy.
They really did.
I try to forget about the remake, to be honest. I think I saw it once and I was like, this was the worst thing I've ever seen, and I haven't gone back.
Bad. It's one of the only movies where I almost like walked out of the theater. Like I can remember when we saw it. I was like, no.
A lot of people may not realize that this came out. I don't know which. I can't hardly see who did this, but it's in the UK, I think. It's a new Blu-ray edition of The Mother of Tears, which I picked up recently. And I know we reviewed this movie back in the day, but I don't know, what year did this come out? Like 2008, 2009?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And I don't remember it at all. I mean, that's usually not a good sign. But I
remember I liked it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it being terrible or anything. I just don't remember a whole lot about it. So I picked it up from, I think Diabolic had this one back in stock, and we'll probably never, ever get it. It was a Weinstein movie, right, here in the U.S., so...
It was Dimension Extreme, so yeah.
I was just going to say that, Dimension Extreme, yeah.
Yeah. So I got that one to check out sometime in the next few weeks.
I miss Dimension Extreme. That was a good... Like side level, they did Inside and Martyrs and like all that shit.
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep, yeah. But then they did like, a ton of horrible shit.
But
I've got one more, and we've talked about this tons of times. It's one that I watch around Halloween always, and for some reason it's like The Fog. I feel like I probably watch this every couple months, and that's Salem's Lot. So for whatever reason, it's one of my go-tos all the time. And I'm actually going to meet the kid. He's doing his first ever convention that played Mark in that movie. So I went online and ordered a full poster, and I'm going to have him sign it. So he's coming to Chiller Convention, actually Halloween weekend.
So there.
So hopefully, as long as the world is up and running, I will be there. And
I don't know
dude.
if you're like a poster snob. They did have a theatrical version of that movie. Did you get like a theatrical poster, or is it just kind of a mock-up reprint? Or
I mean, it's this, but it's a 27 by 40, and I didn't think that it had a post like a one sheet. So I just basically went on a site that does repros that I've heard that do really good ones, and I just ordered it straight from there. But I didn't realize that it actually had original one sheet.
Yeah, I mean, they played it in theaters. I don't know. It may have not been here in the U.S. It may have been in the U.K., but there's a movie version of it that's shorter than the miniseries version.
I was going to ask you about that because I just bought, and again, I don't know why I did, the miniseries VHS tape sealed, and it's a double one. It's like a double VHS box. Mm-hmm. And I just bought that on eBay for like $20 sealed. And I was like, oh, that looked like a cool display piece. And then as I was kind of looking around,
gotta get it graded,
I saw they had what's the thing, right? That's what I'm thinking. So as I'm looking around, I saw like a single VHS and it said the movies. And I was like, I wonder if I should get this. Like, does any versions of this have both on there or no? So which one are we seeing? Do you know?
The miniseries version is the only one that's ever come out in the U.S. aside from a videotape. There's a videotape of the theatrical version. And
yeah, I saw it. I was scrolling through.
Yeah, it's just called Salem's Lot, the movie, I think.
Now, is there any additional scenes or just that cut down?
I think it's just cut down, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. What a weird way to watch it, though. Now, I bet if you watch the movie version, you'd probably feel like things were missing.
Yeah.
I just remember Toby Hooper did an interview where he was talking about like that originally it was a movie, like they were going to do a movie, just a straight up, hour and a half, 2 hour movie. But like he got into it and then realized that he couldn't do it, and like because the book was so long that they had to do like a mini series movie kind of thing. But I just wonder if that has anything to do with it, or if it's just like a cut down version that somebody else did.
Interesting.
I
think it needs a better treatment.
I agree.
I
think
that's kind of ridiculous.
That movie is severely underrated still to this day. I don't know what it is because, and people shit on Toby Hooper all the time for some reason. And yes, like he didn't do anything remotely as good as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but guess what? Nobody else really did either. So you look at it like that.
Yeah, I mean, he did some great movies, though. I was just going to say, like, I mean, if you look at that, you look at Salem's Lot, Poltergeist, Funhouse, even Life Force. I mean, fuck. Like, they're all... I mean,
Funhouse, to me, is another one that would be fit perfect around Halloween. I mean, it fits perfect around any time, but I don't know, man. Funhouse is such a great freaking movie. I love that movie, and I'm even going to go on the limb. As shitty as this is, Eaten Alive, I always kind of had a soft spot for. I don't know why. I think it reminded me a lot of Texas Chainsaw, like maybe just the way it was done. But I always liked that one.
I think that's what he was going for. I really do. Like, I think he was just trying to make like a different version of Texas Chainsaw because a lot of the cinematography and everything in that movie is exactly the same.
Right. It's very similar. But yeah, like a Salem's Lot, like done right, where you can get the movie version and the miniseries, and like, you could double disc. Like, I would just be curious to watch the movie because the only way, like you said, to watch it is on VHS. So it'd be nice to have that.
I tell you something else I'd like to watch too that I don't even know how I would get these, but Dark Shadows, like the original TV series. Like I know they've got it out like on.
Yeah, it's just massive though, man. Like I tried. I've got like the first 3 in the series, like everything post Barnabas Collins, and it's just such a vast like amount of shows, and it moves so slowly that after about the second season of it, it's fun up to that point, but damn. And then you're looking at like 30 seasons or whatever it is.
Well, do you remember when that big box set came out and it was like $500 or something like that? And I remember really wanting it because I have like a couple DVDs, which is like, they'll do like best of, volume 1 or best of volume 2 or whatever. I have a couple of those, which I always found fascinating because I never really knew a lot about that show. So when I bought them, I really kind of fell in love with it.
Hey.
And
I mean, when they first introduced Barnabas Collins on the show, that's a fun. I mean, if anybody out there's never seen it, I would definitely recommend that year of shows that they did because it is. I mean, it's hokey, it's cheaply made. I mean, you can see almost in every shot some sort of fuck up on it.
Yeah.
Because they never thought, 50 years after the fact, somebody'd be watching it at home. It was basically, I think that show was almost done live. Like it was live to tape.
Yeah, a lot of times it was done live, yeah.
Yeah.
even the movies, wasn't there 2 movies kind of based off that movie?
Oh, those movies are fucking awesome. Yeah, House of Dark Shadows
really
and Night
good.
of Dark Shadows, yeah.
I ended up selling the first one. I think it was Night of Dark Shadows. And it went for nutty money. I had to sell it. Like, it was just going for crazy money. But, yeah, the first one is good. The second one, not so much. Second one was made after the show was done, I think.
And check out the box set now. I mean, it's either going to be way more than it was when it came out, or you might be able to find it for a decent price. Who the hell knows? Might be something worth checking out. It's been years, but man, that remake with Johnny Depp was atrocious. It's
fucking one of the worst things I've ever seen in a theater.
I don't know what they were trying to do with that. It to me it boggles my mind. Like, the idea was good, but it was the execution was terrible.
I'll tell you a movie that nobody ever talks about anymore, but it's got Johnny Depp in it and it's fucking awesome, is Ed Wood.
Yep, it's a good one. Sure.
Have you seen that movie in a while? I mean, that actually holds up to this day.
Time.
But, like, it seems like right after that movie, like, Tim Burton started doing the shit that, like, just, that he does now, which is awful, like the Willy Wonka movie and the fucking Dark Shadows movie and all those things. It's just, where everything's a character and it's awful.
TJ says that Amazon has the complete series for $450.
Yeah, get that right now.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough sell.
Real quick though, I know we're past our time, but a couple of movies left on here. This is kind of a must. I've got to finally check this movie out. I bought it at least
Hack-a-Lantern.
That's Hack-a-Lantern because
Fuck.
it's fucking Hack-a-Lantern. What they should have done though, this movie is also known as Halloween. I think it was known as Halloween Night. They should have had like a reversible slip on it. That has a really good artwork on it too. But the last one here, and I'm glad that Scream Factory put this out because I've always sort of liked this movie, and it was originally supposed to get a theatrical run and ended up debuting on the USA Network back in the day. It's a pretty interesting movie for the time, and that is Cherry Falls.
I've got that one, yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah, Jay Moore and Brittany Murphy. So I haven't seen this one in many years. It's usually lumped with, I think the DVD was with some shitty movie called Terror Track or something like that. And that was the same, I think it was the same movie that debuted on USA Network with it. So I'm glad they finally released this by itself.
Terror Track.
Terror Track with John Ritter. It fucking sucks. Sorry, John Ritter.
That's about all I can say about any of this, except for the fact that I tell you something else I am going to get to is Kolchak the Night Stalker. They just released like the complete series, and that was a huge inspiration for the X-Files. So I'm definitely going to pick that up.
Yeah, that's cool. I never saw the show. The movies are good.
Yeah, a lot of people are looking forward to that one. So, but yeah, we went a little bit long, but not too bad. So we appreciate everybody checking the stream out. Anything that you got on your plate, Garrett, that you want to mention on here?
I saw a couple people posting some stuff in here. I saw somebody mention, "Are you afraid of the dark?" So I just did a video with my brother and his wife doing monster cereal review, and they always want to try to get some stuff in. And I know we're talking about doing Are You Afraid of the Dark reviews because we absolutely loved that show as a kid. So if anybody likes that show, keep your eyes open because we'll be doing some of those together. Trying to think what else I have coming up. We have Scream Factory Year 3 coming up. Actually, a shout out to Mid-Level Media. I'm going to be on his show on Tuesday, September 28th. I think this show is called World's Biggest Collectors, and he talks to people in the physical media world about their collections and such. So I will be on that show, and I think that's all I have lined up right now. But I'll probably do some stuff here and there about either unboxings or hauls and stuff like that, because I get stuff always coming through.
So we got a question here, and I guess we can schedule it tonight. You want to do that? When is Shout Factory, Scream Factory Year 3 coming out? When are you guys free?
Fuck.
We can pencil it. Actually, you know what? Tuesday or Wednesdays are fine with me. We can pencil one in. I think what it is for me right now is it all depends on what goes on next week with work. So if the reason I'm working a lot of hours is someone's out. So if they're back, I'm good to roll. If they're not back, then I will be Tuesday and Thursday. I'll be working those long days. So we can pencil one of those in for now if you want to. And I'll find out by the weekend.
Do you want to say a week from tonight?
Yeah, or if you guys feel like a Friday night's better for you, that works for me as well.
Either one. I mean, Friday's the 24th. And we'll let you know. I don't want to put any pressure
Very
on
soon.
there. It'll be within the next week. We'll say.
Yeah, I was thinking because I have no idea at this point.
Also, this coming Saturday is going to be a really fun show. There's going to be a lot of chat room participation in it.
Oh, yeah, good show.
The return of Saturday Nightmares. We are the mega powers of physical media explode, Uncle Bill.
They'll explode all over you, brother. So we got Don May Jr., we got Michael Slipcase Felsher. It's the return of Saturday Nightmares. Like, you got to be in on this show. I mean, that's one that you do not want to miss. Because we've never had them on the show together. I can't believe that's never happened.
Well, and
but
for those that don't know, Michael Slipcase Felsher's like the fucking godfather of DVD, Blu-ray producers. He's the one that changed the game. He's like the I don't know, the Albert Einstein of the Tesla of Blu-ray DVD producers. Works with Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, Vestron, and of course Don May Jr. is the master remasterer who's done some awesome work over the years. We're going to have him on Saturday Nightmares this coming Saturday.
yeah, those guys actually like live right around each other too, and I don't know, they're just really good friends. So I anticipate this to be like pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
keep in mind too that I don't know when, I have no idea yet, but over the next couple of weeks I'm going to be doing like a series of Argento. It's going to be live streams, I guess. So it'll just be live streams about like certain movies of his. We'll bring them up and talk about them, probably starting in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Definitely subscribe if you know, this stuff sounds good to you. Born2BeRad, DEADPIT. But yeah, we appreciate everybody coming out. We had a pretty, active chat tonight. Lots of people checking it out. So thank you guys, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Born2BeRad, and of course, DEADPIT.com. Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that DEADPIT puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DEADPIT on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old DEADPIT radio shows, all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.